think that's the channel we're on?
That's not the one I see.
No, it isn't. You're looking at what's behind that screen. You're back here. That's what you're looking at. And then I've got this overlay so that the folks at home see what we're doing here.
Oh no, Quentin.
So my Switch is being shipped through FedEx. Typical FedEx fashion delivery has been pushed back to Sunday.
That conversation hasn't been released yet. Our FedEx conversation.
God dang. You are going to identify with the freaking the podcast on a very personal level.
You don't know how topical that is right now.
Yeah. Okay. So, let me do this there. That'll just be in the background until we get into it. So
let's get into it.
I keep looking there because I see myself pointing at myself. But I'm not pointing there.
Hey, that's me.
Hey, you. But they can't see that. Or you can't see them. And they can't see that because I'm covered. There's an audio delay. Or there's a delay between the audio and... Oh, that's right, yeah.
RTMP audio's messed it up. Can't you put the delay in as a filter that you can toggle on and off?
I can, but it's a lot more reliable to do it in the advanced audio settings. Because oh thanks. Because
cool mouse too.
It all ties together. Yeah. Logan's keyboard is much more powerful than mine is. But we have the same mouse. It is mechanical.
I bet your spacebar doesn't stick.
Yes, it is a G913. I always forget the model of this thing. G613. It is a wireless, not silent, but low noise mechanical keyboard. And the Lightspeed wireless is almost indecipherable from a wired connection. And I have very, very, very few complaints about this keyboard. The 913 is the low profile version of, so it uses like I don't know what camera to look at. I feel like I'm in a freaking studio. There's too many cameras and too many
need to get indicator lights.
I know. That is a low profile key set or keycap, but it is clacky mechanical. So like that's not good for quiet recording rooms.
Quiet.
I'm sure it's fantastic for writers, but oh well. So let's build us a PiBoy DMG. I ordered this, I want to say 3 or 4 months ago. It might have even been longer than that, but
DMG stands for Devil May Guy.
There. You can see a little bit of what...
Hey, now that they can see when you look at them like when you look at me.
There it is.
Devil May Grunge.
Okay, so the PiBoy DMG, originally I used this, which is the 7-inch touchscreen for Raspberry Pi 3. It has Raspberry Pi in the back. There's for you. And I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I used this controller, which is an 8BitDo, Nest 30 Pro, and I really like this controller.
8BitDo makes a GameCube uh controller adapter that I want to get.
Yes.
Because on the one Nintendo made, you can't remap the buttons,
Mhm.
but on the 8-bit one you can.
Right. Yeah, I got this from a guy at work who just had it in a box of stuff that he was getting rid of, and he was like, I had it for, I think he might have even said I had a RetroPie that I used it with. And I was like, I'm actually thinking of buying one of those. And he goes, it works. I just don't use it. So if you want it, it does exactly what you need it to. And yeah, like sticks are great. Um, I I I wish there was a different layout to the triggers and bumpers because they're comfortable and ergonomic, but I wish it was a stacked instead of like other. Like like I still don't know which one is which. R1, I think R1 is the trigger on PS4 and
I have a PS4 controller
and R2 is the bumper.
right here. The trigger is R2, the bumper is R1.
Okay. So
I don't remember what you said it was. What?
I said the opposite of that. So these, if I wanted to pull the trigger, I have to reach to the inside edge. And
Oh,
then
interesting.
the outer like part of it is the bumper part. So the larger button is the bumper and the smaller portion is the trigger. And I just can't, maybe if I use this more, I'll get it in my head. But like I'm constantly getting those mixed up. So then they announced this, the PiBoy DMG, and
Devil May Guy.
Devil May Guy, and I was very interested in it, because I was like, oh shoot, I need to go get my Game Boy that I've had all my life. Let me go do that. I think it's downstairs, so let me go find that. And if I can't find it immediately, I will ask Shelby to find it. I'll be right back.
All right, guys. Clayton's gone. So it's just y'all and me. So we're going to build it real quick before he gets back. Nobody will know. He'll be like, what the heck? When he comes back, it'll be great. Get the screwdriver. He did leave me with controller, the software we use to connect to each other. You can like enable keyboard and mouse and also controller functionality to like be sent through the stream. And he left me with controller. He left me with controller control. So what I'll do is I'll grab my controller and I'll connect everything to, oh shit, I'm just throwing everything. Fuck, I have too much shit on my desk. Yeah, Parsec. But since he's left me control, I'll look at that box. Look at that old ass box. But since he left me control, I'll just build it before he gets back real quick.
Right.
Oh, hey man, what's up?
Hey,
Didn't notice
how's
you
it
came
going?
back. Didn't notice you came back.
So this is my Game Boy case. I have had this literally all my life. Here is the soft case that goes with it for additional storage, and I have very distinct memories of walking around the Orange Park Mall in Jacksonville carrying this with a black strap that has since broken on one shoulder, and this with this strap on another, with this battery pack clipped to my hip and this power cord going into this Game Boy. And I was the dorkiest kid I have ever met.
Do you know those in movies, those briefcases, that like money briefcases?
Yes, like the steel ones.
Yes, I had one of those. In fact, I still do somewhere, that on the inside was built to hold a Game Boy Advance. And like you, I carried that shit around the mall, and I had like lights and all that shit on there. I was the dorkiest kid.
Shelby said
at
I
my
married that.
I was the dorkiest kid at my mall.
Mm-hmm. These are all of the books for the games that I own. I kept all of them. Very happy about that. Here's a, what is this? Is this called the SP? Is it Advanced SP? Is that what this is, Logan? Yes, Game Boy Advance SP. Logan, are you still there? Logan, come in. Have we lost Logan? Did he go to get his case? I think he might have gone to get his case.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, did you hear anything I said?
I did.
Oh, okay. So this is the Advanced SP, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know where I got this from. Somebody gave me this, and I just kind of have it. And I was like, okay, I'll put it with my other Game Boy.
I had a Game Boy Advance SP that no, I had the long one, the Fat Boy. I had one of the wide one, the one before the SP.
I do know that. I forgot all about that.
I had one of those, and I let my best friend at the time borrow it.
Like a Game Gear.
Yeah, exactly. I let my best friend at the time borrow it, and it just disappeared.
Yep.
And what I think happened was he put it in his pocket and washed his clothes.
Oh man.
And he didn't want to like admit that he ruined my Game Boy.
Yep.
But I have no evidence that that's true.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he just swore up and down that he gave it back, but I don't think he did.
I also have this cable, which is the Game Boy System Link cable. I don't know if any of this is worth any money at all, but this battery pack and that System Link cable, if I were to imagine any of it were worth anything, those would be the two things that would probably be the hardest to find. Because that's not, it looks a lot like a USB cable, but that is absolutely not a USB cable. Like, I don't know what that is, but it is very proprietary. All right. So I'll leave that out. We also have some accessories. Got my Game Genie here.
Oh man, the Game Genie.
Uh-huh. Gonna read through some game code books that are absolutely microscopic text. Like, this is like 5-point text or 5-point font. It is so ridiculously small. And then for when the sun goes down and you still need to keep playing, you've got your magnifying glass.
Oh yeah, I definitely had one of those. Like, it wasn't that kind because my first Game Boy was a Game Boy Pocket and then a Game Boy Color.
Mm-hmm. And then there's a little light switch on the side here. I have very distinct memories of using all of these to their fullest potential. And there's some more games in there. All right. But enough about the past. Let's move into the future.
Did you ever do the whole playing your game in bed at night and then your mom comes in to check on you and then you quickly
shove it under the pillow?
Turn the light off and pretend like you've been asleep the whole time.
Mm-hmm. And then you pause it, but then you accidentally press one of the buttons and unpause it, and the speaker starts screaming again.
Yeah, and if you're playing on the DS and you open the DS, Mario goes, "It's a me, Mario!" You're like, "Shut up, Mario!" And if you're trying to close it, he goes, "Bye-bye!"
Yeah, everything is at max volume.
Mom opens the door and she just hears, "Bye-bye."
All right. So, first thing I want to do is compare the form factor of the thing they are imitating.
Ha, I found it. Are you ready?
I am ready. Very nice.
Did you hear it?
I did.
Did you hear it?
Crystal clear.
That was my it's my purple Game Boy Color.
See, I've got to take this apart. It doesn't work anymore. It tries to work, and like it you can start to hear like the early sounds of it trying to do something. But it can't really post or can't make it to the boot sequence or whatever. But yeah, it's like 70% of the way there. And then
my Game Boy Color that's green doesn't have any sound anymore.
Oh,
it's just but it works.
So here are the two products side by side.
Oh my gosh, look at those buttons.
Yeah, they
Is
are.
that a thumbstick on there?
Yeah, you know what it is? It's a Switch thumbstick.
Dude.
It's a
Well, those things are actually like they sell them wholesale.
yeah, and it's really nice. It's like it's not as tight as the sticks on this. Like these are a little bit more resistant. It's about the same resistance as my not launch 360, but original, not 360, not a launch Xbox One, but the original Xbox One controller, the one that does not have the headphone jack on it.
Yeah, I have one of those.
Yeah, that's about the same resistance, maybe a little bit firmer, just because this is new. What's that?
I'm not gonna pre-order an Xbox One X or Xbox One Series X, whatever the fuck it's called.
Okay.
But I did pre-order one of the new Xbox controllers that will be functional with not only PC and the Xbox, but also the Xbox One,
Very cool.
which I do have. So
Brandon says, "Did y'all see that 10 Chambers and Tencent are now partnered to help bring out the fullest of GTFO?" All right. Well.
oh no, do we have to stop playing GTFO now?
Coming to the Epic Game Store any day now. With flossing and giraffes and.
Do you think there is any power in my Game Boy Advance SP that I just dug up?
Advance SP? I don't know. But I remember saying that my DS
3DS.
Not the 3DS, the DS Lite that hasn't been turned on in over a decade, powered up with like 80% of its battery, and my 3DS had absolutely no juice in it.
It's at max volume. Let's see if it has any juice.
All right, let's hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, reliable. They don't make them like they used to. Okay, so let's start laying out our kit. And it came with this screwdriver. This is not mine. I really appreciate that they included this because it's a really nice screwdriver that I'm going to use for a lot of things.
I have a little screwdriver set that I use on practically everything.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I slapped a Game Boy Advance game in there, so it'll make the classic Game Boy Advance sound now.
What's that mean? Oh, that one, right? Okay. Oh,
yeah,
that's right. I didn't realize they had redone the ding. Shelby wants a sonic screwdriver. Yeah. We know you're a
fucking nerd now.
A Whovian.
A big fucking nerd.
You weeb.
No. That's not what that is.
She's not a weeaboo. She's a weeaboo.
Yep.
Got it.
There we go. I like
it.
that one actually.
All right, so lithium
I wasn't
battery.
on board, but now I am.
I don't know the capacity of this. Does it say the capacity? It is 4,500 milliamp hours, which is a little bit more than my phone, so pretty healthy battery. I mean, I suppose it would have to be, considering a couple of the platforms that this runs would probably give that chip quite a workout. All right, so
Here's my old DS.
We've got. I'm gonna put some music on. There we go. What?
How much juice is in this thing?
Music.
This thing is fully charged.
Yeah. What?
This hasn't been on a charger in years.
Is that a 3DS?
It's a DS, the original fat DS.
That's what I'm telling you. I don't know what those things run on. They're basically like powered by antimatter.
I guess. I mean, when they're not on, they don't. They do keep time though, so they have to be running some kind of power. I mean, how much battery does it take to track time?
Right. Didn't Ninja Sex Party say that you could use their stuff on live streams?
Yeah, they're Ninja Sex Party and why can I not remember the name of that band? The other band with Danny Sexbang.
I don't know. I barely remember.
Oh my god, Starbomb.
Oh, okay.
And I want to say twerp is also cool with people streaming their music, but I don't know for sure, so I'm not going to commit to that.
Do this one. All right. An ad for Google.
Man, I am kind of disappointed to learn that 10 Cent is with 10 Chambers now. I guess GTFO is gonna be full of microtransactions now.
All right.
Man, that video you brought up was old. Did you see how short Dan's hair was?
I'm just looking for music that's not gonna get us in trouble. Hopefully that's not too loud. I don't think it is.
Wish I could hear it.
Yeah. Well, you can watch the stream. Okay. So, the top of the case has this little open cavity where the pie is gonna stick out of, and because this.
Clayton, that's where the Game Boy game goes.
Just jam it in there. So, in order to be compatible with different models, there's little like stamps on each of these. Like that one said Pi 3, and this one says Pi 4. And then there's another one that's compatible with, which is Pi 0, which doesn't have any ports on it at all, so they just cap it off completely. And then. Is that on there anymore? I guess that's just a blank that it gives you.
Is it just if you don't want to use anything, it just cover the hole?
Yeah, it just caps it off.
So the one with the screen and the buttons, that is not the PiBoy. That's just a case.
This like shell?
Yes.
So this is the PiBoy.
Oh, okay.
This is the Raspberry Pi that's going to power it.
Okay. So you buy the PiBoy is the case, and then
right.
you just cram a regular Raspberry Pi in there.
Right. The other cool thing is, I don't know if anyone can seize this. Right here, halfway down the back of it, are actual shoulder buttons. Like clicky. Yeah, it's like a right and left shoulder button, which is really nice.
They're like back paddles.
Exactly. So you've got 6-button front, D-pad, thumbstick, a clickable thumbstick, and right and left shoulder buttons.
So
interesting.
Every 1.0 a new user
We're gonna have to deal with ads every so often.
That's
All right. How can I cover that? I don't.
Well, you have Spotify, right? They just do the Ninja Sex Party Spotify stream.
Do I have?
I thought you did.
Let's find out. Eventually, we're gonna get to the portion of this stream where we build this computer. You know what? I already have a.
Prepare your ear hole. I'm pushing the Steve button.
What's the? Oh.
Hey, Steve!
Okay, there we go.
I'll get you a Steve. It's the last thing I do.
So we've got our Pi 4 cap. We've got the Pi 0. This is for the Pi 4. It's impossible to tell what it is I'm trying to show you, but I'll show you shortly. The reason I told you about the rear paddles is because, do you know the purple buttons from the Super Nintendo controller? They give you these buttons that feel like the purple shoulder buttons off of the Super Nintendo controller, which is a really nice detail.
Mike says, I read it fit only Pi 3B, and I have a normal Pi 3.
It might only be the 3B.
Which one do you have?
I have a 3B that's in here. Hold on. At least doesn't move. It's a little high. All right, should be better now. I have a 3B that's in this, and a 4B that's going in this. I'll look at the documentation and see if a regular 3 will work. We'll find that out for you. So, put the stuff away that we don't need. Not that one, not that one. Here's a power switch that feels a lot like the power switch on the Game Boy. So they've done a really good job recreating that. And yep. And then these I think are extra screws, because I think everything I have is already mounted in the shell. You just take the screws out and replace them with stuff in place. But we'll find out. And then a battery. So let's get started.
Mike says now they need to sell a whole arcade cabinet where you just plug in a Raspberry Pi and RetroPie. I'm sure that exists. I would be surprised if it did not.
All right. Down the exposure.
Clayton, you're exposing yourself on stream. Mike says, I saw some, but they're a tabletop arcade. But there are tabletop arcade machines. I don't know how much people can use the Pi. When we want a when we went to Micro Center to buy the Pi, I saw a magazine specifically dedicated to the Pi.
Yeah, the Magpie. I was like, oh yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff with the Pi.
I'm not sure exactly what a Pi is like for, to be honest. But honestly, it sounds like you can literally use a Raspberry Pi to do anything.
They are, what's the word? There's a
versatile.
There's a monotasking is a good thing for Pis. Like if you need something to happen over and over and over again with a very reliable timing or result, they are very good at repetitive computations. They're not good for like flexible stuff. They can do a lot of things, but they typically require a lot of configuration to do different things. So they're better suited for like repetitive tasks.
Steve wants Pi now.
Yeah. So like if you...
Oh crap, I was gonna buy a Pi at the grocery store today as a goof and then I forgot.
So like a good example is the RTMP server that we use. That's a Raspberry Pi. And it only does the same thing over and over and over again. It listens for a feed, and if it gets that feed, it spits it out to a file. It just does that all day, every day. And then we just use it as we need it. Okay, so...
Shelby says she wants a chocolate pie with whipped cream on top. That sounds really good. I could really go for a apple pie with a crispy top. That sounds real good with a scoop of vanilla ice cream on the side.
So, Logan, here's a Raspberry
Yes.
Pi. This is all it is.
Is that what the thing inside the RTMP looks like?
Yep. It's a
That thing in front of you, is that the RTMP?
this thing?
Yeah.
No. That's over there on a box sitting on a table. But
Okay.
it's only very slightly larger than this because it's in a case that serves as the heat sink. So,
Okay.
like, they are very small, compact, energy efficient machines, so long as you use them as they're intended to. So this has little standoffs for these to sit on, and then I'll put this case on top of it. And then the other thing is my HDMI adapter. So this can actually output to an HDMI feed.
Ooh.
I don't know if that disables the built-in screen if you kick it out to a screen. So
Shelby says, and some vanilla ice cream. Ah, you beat me to it, Logan. This must be how Quentin feels. Quentin says, it ain't easy to be on this side, is it, Shelby?
pretty good. So
Mike wants to know, does it come with an already configured SD, or do you have to load your own OS?
you have to load your own OS, and we're going to go through that. So this is a specific HDMI adapter. It's just...
How's it going, dude? How's it going, dude? How's it going?
Hey.
How's it going, dude? How's it
Linux
going,
TV.
dude? How's it going, dude?
Thanks for the follow.
So this is specific to the Pi 4, because that is micro HDMI, and then it's mini HDMI on the other side. So,
But we're not working on the Pi 4, so we're not going to use that then, right?
there we are.
Oh, we are using the Pi
Yep,
4.
this is the Pi 4.
Heck yeah, dude.
So, I bought the kit specifically to go with the Pi 4 that I ordered, and that just like lines up with that slot. So we go here and put this.
So you could set this up with a capture card then too.
Yeah, and actually when we play some games later, I'm gonna output it to my capture card so that it comes up on the screen that you're watching, Logan.
Awesome.
And then there are these screws that go in there. I do appreciate that a lot of these pieces get screwed in place instead of just like, just like sitting in place and then the screws that are on the back hold everything in, because that might make it like easier to assemble and disassemble, but it gets really hard to sandwich it together to get everything into place in order to get it there. And there's a risk of like
Rain.
pinching pinching a cable, or like clamping something down when it's not quite aligned right, and then it gets
Yeah,
bent.
when I took my Joy-Con apart to fix my drift,
Oh,
I had to be super careful about that because there's all kinds of little wires running through the inside of that thing.
oh yeah.
I didn't mess anything up though.
Yeah. Of course, that has big gorilla hands.
When I'm working on a project like that, I feel like I'm gonna screw this thing up. I shouldn't be doing this. I'm gonna screw it up. And then when I do it and it works well,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a fucking god. I can repair anything.
So that's kind of how it feels when I'm working on Shelby's car, because in the course of fixing anything, I have to take out a million screws and bolts and gaskets and any and every other thing, so that there's just pieces all over the garage when I'm working on anything. I missed a step, but I'm going to see if I can... No, I can't. So, when Mike was asking about the SD card, I should have thought of it when I was saying that out loud. But the way that this passes through the SD card is really clever. I like that a lot. Because on the case, there's an SD card slot there. That I'm going to take this one out of. Not going to use that one. But that SD card just gets passed through to this like SD placeholder, which is a really cool pass-through solution. It is a little bit difficult to get in place though. Okay. There's like a order of operations where this puzzle goes together. That goes facing this direction. Now those get screwed in. Can't pick them up on this slippery table. Alright, so the first part of the board in. Make sure everything is in place. And so you've got this pin grid right there that lines up with the GPIO pins on the Raspberry Pi. It's like a, I don't know, 48 pin connector or something like that. And I think we're only using maybe a few of them. But they all get connected. And that's all lined up. And then press it in place. Alright, and then these screws go back in place now that the Pi is under there.
When you have those little tiny screws, do you just let them sit on your desk floating?
Mindset is key to become the person you want to
Yeah,
be.
I typically do.
Experts use
I don't
positive affirmations
worry
to
too much
achieve
about it.
goals and overcome challenges.
When I do this, I have like
Coincidence.
4 bowls to put all the different stuff in. I'm like, I am not losing anything.
More good comes to my life.
I do
Feedback
not
is the
trust
number one
myself.
for affirmation and
all right, so HDMI adapter screwed in, board is screwed in, SD card pass-through is slotted, our GPIO thing plugged in. There's a little ribbon cable that passes the data from the GPIO pins to the front screen. It basically hijacks the video feed and just says, hey, don't output it to this, output it to the screen on the front.
Interesting.
Battery goes in later. Power switch. So there is an alignment to this. And it sits in much easier one way than the other. There we go. Then this goes on the back. Kind of swirl it around to rattle everything into place. Eventually, there we go.
Hey, look at that.
Everything kind of, whoop. Screw came out. I'm dumb.
That's why you gotta get those bowls.
Ah, you and your bowls. Always talking about your bowls. Logan's bowls. Logan's bowls.
I'm just saying, nobody else is gonna screw my bowls but me. So
Gotta get the magnetized bolt. So,
magnetized bowls. Is that a thing?
oh yeah, it absolutely is. For the exact same reason is that like you can toss them in there, and not only do they not fall out, you can toss them into the bowl and they won't bounce out because they stick to the bottom.
So you can be a big clumsy palooka such as me and knock the whole bowl on the floor,
That's right.
and they'll still be inside the bowl.
They also make magnetic wrist straps, which are the coolest thing because you can like stick your tools to them or stick screws to them, and it is so cool to just be like, oh, I don't need this for like the next 15 seconds. I need my two hands, and then you go pop and you just pop it on your arm and you go, oh yeah, I need that screwdriver. Whoop.
That would make me feel like an X-Man if I did that.
Mike asks, does it charge through micro USB or Type C? Not a stupid question, a very important question. However, they do provide you a charger for it, and this one charges over micro. Until you stick your arm in a case, you get a stuck elbow deep in the case. Or you wave your hand a little too close to something that's
A hard drive,
sensitive to magnetics.
credit card.
Okay. So our battery goes in now. This is just a key.
Look at that thing.
What's that? Oh, this.
That battery.
Yeah, it's a healthy battery. Hold it around.
I do like how the size of the thing actually looks like the actual. Let me see the compartment door comparison.
Oh my god, as you say that, they are the same size.
Swap them out. I want to see if you can swap them out.
Okay, so that's this one. Almost.
That is awesome.
It almost goes. There's an extra little tab of plastic that's not there. I don't know if you can see that, Logan. You see that little?
I can see
little
it.
tab is not there here. But other
What
than
about
that,
what about the other way around?
this is clearly the older one. That one, it's like a millimeter too tall. Like you see how it's hitting the top of that alleyway?
Yeah.
I
I really like that though.
If I broke that tongue off, it would fit no problem. But
I
that
like
is,
how they made it like look exactly the same.
I put them like face to face. Yeah, they're like the slightest. Which way am I facing? What can I do to show you the difference? I don't know which way to turn it. You see how this one's like
Yep.
ever
It's
so
just
slightly
slightly taller.
like a millimeter. But yeah, incredibly close.
Dang, I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's a very, very neat touch.
What about the heft to them?
This one is significantly heavier.
Okay, I figured it would be.
I'm gonna say like maybe like 3 ounces heavier, like noticeably heavier.
I figured it would be.
But that's if I took the battery out, I bet this would be almost the same weight because a lot of that heft is just that battery.
Well, are there any batteries in your Game Boy?
There aren't. That's a good. It's a very good point. This is when I pop all the batteries in and it wakes up for the first time in 20 years, and I just play Game Boy
Tetris.
game for the rest of the night. Yeah, sorry guys.
There's no capture on it, so it's just a video of you.
It's almost identical now.
That's awesome.
It's almost the same. Yeah, that is. the balance is a little different. The original Game Boy feels like it's a little bottom heavy, which is probably intentional because that's where you hold it.
Yeah.
Whereas this is more like 50-50. Like,
I wonder if I wonder if they designed it on purpose to be the same weight.
I don't know, but they landed there, man. That's really good.
That's so cool. Mike's talking about how he needs to destroy an old HHD. He tried to smash it with a hammer, but the hammer got dented. And
If you are looking for the digital route of data destruction, there's a program called DBAN, which stands for Derek's Boot and Nuke. You can do a few passes. I don't know if your hard drive is even bootable at this point if you took a hammer to it. In the future, if you want to do digital data destruction, DBAN is fantastic for it. And you can do single pass, you can do triple pass, you can do like mil spec 24 pass zeroing, which absolutely erases any history of any
data
bit on that drive.
Would that render the drive unusable?
Not yes, until you format it. It basically fills. So like when you erase stuff on your hard drive, it doesn't actually get erased. It just puts a tag on it that says, "Hey, the next time you need someplace to store something, put it here and overwrite this thing." What DBAN does is goes from bit 1 all the way to the end. It goes generate a random number or a random character or random value in every single one of these trillions of bits. And it is complete gibberish by the end of it. So if you want to use that drive, you just go, I want to format this drive, and then Windows or OS 10 or whatever operating system you're using goes, all right, what file structure do you want to use? Format it for that, and then goes, all right, level the playing field, and you've got a good hard drive again. But you still can't read anything that used to be there.
Yeah, it's all scrambled, right?
Right. So it's still a good hardware, but completely useless as far as software that used to be there.
Gotcha.
So now I need to install the OS. So I've got a 32 gig micro SD here, and got my micro SD reader.
Mike says, unfortunately, it wasn't bootable, so I have to do it the hard way. I know technically, as it's not bootable, it's already unusable, but just to be sure.
Yeah, there's no reason not to follow through with it. Okay, so here's where I gotta take this off screen.
No!
Put that over there. Then I gotta go plug this into. Do I have to type anything? I might be able to unplug my keyboard and just use that port. Alright. So, plug that in. Where's my mouse? Alright. So, we'll go to disk management and wipe this drive. We'll delete that volume. Yes, 30 gig.
Are you doing the right one?
Yeah. Alright, so we'll redo a new volume here. That 32. Don't care about the name because that'll get redone soon. Now we have a G drive.
G-Done.
Actually, I'm gonna do it as expat. Alright, so we're formatting that. You know what would have been cool? Probably hard to engineer. Having the Pi inside a Game Boy cartridge that needs to be fit into the case for it to boot. That's actually not as far-fetched as you might think. The Pi Zero would probably fit in a case, because they specifically engineered the Pi Zero to be the smallest Raspberry Pi, and it's still a pretty powerful device. Way more powerful than what the original Game Boy would have been. Okay. So, let's go. I do need to type. Son of a gun. I'm going to plug that into the back of my case then.
All right, guys, he's gone again. It's just you and me. He'll never hear this, so we can say whatever we want.
Take out my headphones.
Ha ha ha! We win now. I think the Pi Zero still needs an upgrade. Yeah, I wish I knew more about it, to be perfectly honest. Oh, Shelby's talking about booties. All right, I'm gonna get out my controller and I'm gonna start messing around with stuff again. And that's when I said, you know what? No, I won't take that $100 million from my company I've started with my friends. We can do it ourselves. Goodbye, Jeffrey Bezos. And I slammed the door in his face.
All right. So I'm going to plug in my keyboard again. Wireless keyboard. All right. So let's go to PiBoys II. All right, so here we go. This is the full kit, which does not include, yes, does not include the Raspberry Pi. It says required Pi 3B plus, 4B, or 0. So I think that's your answer, Mike. Needs to be a 3B plus, according to their requirements. They might have something that, like in their FAQ, that explains why it has to be a 3B plus. It might be because of the port layouts. Maybe the outputs are only in place for those models. That I don't know. But 3B plus or 4B are your options. So if you go to tutorials, we've got the official PiBoy image.
What about 9S?
What's that?
What about 9S?
What about 9S? What?
Well, we got the 2B and the 3B.
Ha 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 ha. It's like, what? What is he talking about near for? What did I say that he could possibly be talking about near for?
If you don't know by now that everything is connected by near in some way, then I can't help you.
you're right. If only that keyboard had an internal battery, it would have been so cool. Mike said, I honestly might get a 0 and build that thing just for the fun of it if I have some money to spare sometime. Quentin says, I gotta say, I've had this keyboard for a year and I have had to. I'm the same way. Similar to the DS, I don't know what this keyboard runs on, but I use it multiple hours every day for gaming, and I think I may have had to change the batteries once by now, and the rechargeable batteries, so I didn't even have to buy new batteries. So like, I don't know. It's a fantastic keyboard.
Yeah, but could you kill Emperor Kalos with it?
Yes, I did, in fact. All right, so you've got this. You know what? Let's do this. Let's rearrange these windows.
Interest-free purchases for
This
6
is
months.
what you're looking
Yes,
for.
you heard
I'm
it
gonna
right.
mute Spotify. You don't have to worry about interest-free purchases. So we'll go here. Put that up.
I have never once had to change the batteries of my keyboard.
Your wired keyboard.
Yep.
And then here. Fit to the screen. Just fit to the screen. Thank you. And put that on top. There we go. Oh, you're talking about my trackball? My Logitech trackball? I love my trackball.
Remember that time that thing made me had like a panic attack when I tried to use it?
Yes, that is a fantastic story. We were having an extra life or a streamathon weekend, and we were sitting on the couch, and I was like, "All right, here's a lap board. Just put this on your lap, and then you can use this for the mouse." And he kept like grabbing it and trying to move it around with his hand, and he was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, Logan, just move your thumb and that will move the mouse. He's like, I can't, I gotta move the whole thing. I was like, okay, relax, settle down, I will get you a mouse. And then Shelby had like this like tiny mouse that she would use or in her bag somewhere, and you were like,
And for me, it was 100% better.
oh yeah, I immediately. And I was like, I don't know how you can use this microscopic mouse. And he's just like, I have to. It's the only way I can use a mouse. It has to be this way.
I have to move the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. My brain just would not accept it. Yep. Also, where I was playing a horror game.
Yes.
So like,
That was,
I had to.
That was
I had
Case,
to,
right?
Yeah, it was Case. I had to simultaneously like, emotionally deal with the fact I was playing a really scary game, on top of fundamentally learning a new way to interface with it that I've never done ever, and I just couldn't deal.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got the.
I am not a mouse elitist. How dare you? Technically, that thing is not even a mouse. That's a trackball.
Yeah. So we've got this link to download the image. I've already got it. It does come as a 7Z file, so you will need 7-zip or something that recognizes 7Z files. And then you've got this page that kind of walks you through the process. It uses Balena Etcher to unpack it. And then there's a few extra things for the Pi. So whenever you switch off the power, it doesn't just kill the battery, or it doesn't just like disconnect the battery and drop the thing on its face. It actually triggers a shutdown script to close the services, and what they do is perform a graceful shutdown. Cheers for Spears. Absolutely. This is this is when we make all of our money back in this company. We make so much more in bits in October than we do any other day year of the month of the year.
Even though it's available all year long.
It's available the entire year, but just something kicks in October and people want to scare the crap out of us.
We will do them a frighten with our dollars.
So yeah, I really like that power option, and that's all managed here in this script. There's a chunk of text that they tell you needs to be injected into one of the files, but I'll show you how that goes.
Is that like a copy and paste kind of deal, or?
It is, with a very, very, very specific difference. And
I keep trying to scroll down because I'm like, why can't I? I'm not in control.
All right. I'm gonna minimize that since we don't need it just yet. So here's what you end up with. You've got the image. I've already unpacked it from 7-zip. I haven't done anything else to it. Here's Balena Etcher that we're going to use to transfer it to the card. Here's the stuff that goes for that power thing that I was telling you about. And
Yes.
then there's this. this command line.txt, which is what this section refers to, is
Yeah.
I've already done this and then saved it here because once you, I'm actually going to start it now. Once you image this USB micro SD with this image, unless you have the Linux for Windows subsystem, you won't be able to access those files because it is no longer a Windows file system. Like, it's not just going to be my G drive anymore. It's going to be inaccessible because it's going to be rewritten in Linux. Which, unless you
So
have
your
the...
computer is going to not even know how to read it.
Exactly. It'll be
at
full
all.
of files that I can't get to anymore, unless you have something that runs Linux or something that can recognize Linux files. For me, that was a Chromebook. So I just put that SD card in, or micro SD into an SD reader, put that SD reader into my Chromebook, and then I could access those files. And because it's Chromebook, it's attached to my Google Drive. So I just edited that file, saved it to my Google Drive, and then re-downloaded it here. And it's, if it looks like it is all just one line with no text wrap, that is correct. There's no wrapping in these files. I don't know why, but they very specifically say, do not press enter, do not go to the next line, just paste it as it is, and it will be fine.
Did you know in the original code for Minecraft, it was written like that?
Oh my god.
It was one line of code with no breaking at all.
That is absolutely ridiculous. It's
Oh,
com- it's
go ahead.
comment sponsored by LTT Store and Tunnel Bear.
Speaking of Minecraft, did you hear the news today?
What's that?
Minecraft Steve is going to be a playable fighter in Smash Bros.
Oh dang.
I told you.
A Steve indeed.
My uncle who works at Nintendo told me that they were putting Minecraft in Smash Bros. I told you this.
All right, so we pick our PiBoy image, we select the G drive, and we go. Hit yes. So that'll be on its way.
To be perfectly honest, I forgot I made that joke until you brought it up to me earlier today.
What's that? A Steve?
That my
Oh.
my uncle works at
Oh,
Minecraft joke. I was saying
Yeah.
last time I played Minecraft.
Okay. So we've got that going. We'll give that a minute. To finish. That'll take about 6 minutes to complete. The other thing they do, there comes some ROMs already installed on it, and those are legal for you to keep. The other challenge is legally finding other ROMs to play. So if you go to RetroPie, I think it's .co.uk or something like that, or .org.uk. One of their forum posts is where to legally acquire content to play on RetroPie. So there's this catalog of places that host free or legal ROMs, like ROMs that the developer or publisher has agreed to be sold for the purpose of using in an emulator.
So this is not an emulator we're trying to acquire. We're trying to acquire ROMs.
Yeah, we've already got a F-ton of emulators in this thing, and I'll show you what all it can emulate. Because like it has a main emulator, it does Atari all the way back to like ColecoVision. It's got a Dreamcast emulator, Game Boy, NES, SNES.
Doom wads.
Oh yeah, there are a couple that are included that are kind of ridiculous.
Man, that takes me back. I used to download Doom wads all the time.
Let's see. Doom WAD that you can download and use in RetroPie. Here's one for Chex Quest. I don't know
Dude,
what to think about this.
I didn't know Chex Quest ran on the Doom engine.
It took Chex Quest 3 is a standalone game built with the Z Doom source port. This game includes all 3 Chex Quests.
Oh my gosh.
What is it? I don't know if that'll run on this thing. That might be a bit out of this thing's scope.
It says right there, so there's some way to do it.
Let's see. Doom was a console. The modern source ports like Z Doom would be the emulator, and WAD would be the okay, got it. Okay. So if we can get Z Doom on this RetroPie, then we should be able to run Chex Quest. So we can look and see if that's an included package. Here. No, one more. There's a list of. Nope, I'm wrong. Systems in RetroPie. There it is. So it does have an MSX emulator, so you could play the original Metal Gears on here.
Yes.
Like, not the NES ports or anything like that, just like the raw MSX, the ones on your soundtrack.
The MSX, no, they're not on there.
Oh, that's right. You told me that.
It's just Metal Gear Solid. But I do believe they ported the original MSX ones to the Metal Gear HD collection, I think.
Yes. I had the Legacy collection, and it had Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 on there.
And the MSX ones are actually harder.
They are so unforgivingly hard. I could not get through like 3 screens without getting seen and killed.
I mean, the NES one is hard, but the MSX ones are harder.
It's just, I was just so used to, being able to look at the soldiers and be like, all right, I can walk around here and, get the jump on him. And I messed it up every single time.
Weird how like the soldiers in the PlayStation 1 Metal Gear Solid are dumber than the ones from the MSX.
Oh yeah. It has a Virtual Boy emulator. In case you want to give yourself a headache.
How would that even work?
I don't even know.
Probably would just show one screen, huh?
Yeah, I'd have to think so. So here's one I've been looking at, the PSP emulator. I read something earlier today that the PSP architecture doesn't need a BIOS to run the same way that like a PS2 or a PS1 does.
Yeah.
So I might actually be able to run PSP games. I haven't confirmed that, but I'm already wanting to get a PSP so that I can dump the PSX BIOS so that I can run PS1 games.
I have a PSP.
later. Oh.
Did I tell you about how I got my PSP?
You did not.
I never really ever intended on buying one. But I had a friend who he loved his PSP. He played it all the time. He got it was like the like special edition silver one for some game, I don't know.
Okay.
And he took it to work. He worked at a gas station and he sat on it because he kept it in his back pocket.
Oh, come on.
And he crunched the screen.
Dang.
And he's like, I'm just gonna buy a new PSP. I'm like, what are you gonna do with your old one? And he's like, I'm probably just gonna throw it away. But if you want to take the time and the effort and the money to fix it, you can just have it. And he handed it to me. So I went online and I found a new PSP screen, and it was like the Generation 3 PSP, and it had to be super specific because between the 3 different generations, the screens were vastly different. They looked the same, but on the insides they were different.
Oh, Mike says no. In fact, PPSSPP, which is the emulator that it runs games on its own on PC. That is a fantastic confirmation,
Dollar Shave
Mike.
Club
Thank you
brings
very
the ultimate
much.
Shave starter set. $5 with free shipping.
Interesting. But he handed it to me. He said, if you want to take the time and money to get it fixed, it's all yours. I went online. I found the new screen for $20. So I got, and that Gen 3 PSP was like brand new. It was over, I don't know how much PSPs cost back in the day, but like it was like the brand new version.
Dang.
And I got it for $20.
That is really, really cool.
I fixed the screen. I had to fix the screen myself, but it was not hard at all.
So Shelby actually did that when she was in college, at university, for our international viewers. She was studying on the floor one time, and she had her netbook. She had this Acer netbook, and she had a blanket on her lap. And she got up to go to the kitchen and put her laptop on, or her netbook on the floor. And when she stood up, the blanket like fell on top of it. And she
didn't see it.
And she was walking back in the room with whatever she had gotten to eat and stepped on the screen.
Ugh.
And like just put a heel right onto the panel and broke it, of course. And and she was very upset, and she called me, and I was like, all right, here's what you do. That model of netbook has a VGA output, and the TV that you have has a VGA input. So,
oh my gosh.
Even though you can't see the screen, just plug your netbook into your TV with it open and use it like that. And she goes, okay, that's good enough, but I need a netbook to do my work on. So, similar to you, I hit the internet and found a dude on Craigslist selling an Acer netbook, and he was like, it's basically just the shell and the screen. I've taken out the motherboard and the keyboard and the hard drives and the memory, or everything else. There's no guts to it. It's just the shell and the screen, but it's $20 if you want it. And I was like, yes, it's exactly what I want. I just need the screen and the inverter that goes to the screen.
That's awesome.
And it worked perfectly. I wired it up and no problems. But that's when I learned, like, have you ever heard about the DualShock 4 controllers? How there's basically like a new model.
I thought that was going to be the end of it. I thought have you heard of the DualShock 4 controllers? Yes.
You heard these things? They're great.
Are you talking about the ones with the back paddle or the back buttons on them?
No, just like the entire range of them. They change every few months. Like they just make these minor little updates to the internals of them. So if you're looking for parts for them, you have to like get the right version of them, because
and you probably have to look at the board on the inside to see what version it is.
Yeah, and it was the same way with this freaking netbook. When I went to look for part numbers, and everything was like, well, it was manufactured between June and August. It'll have this, which runs at 0.53 volts or whatever at this connector. But if it was manufactured from then to then, it has a right angle adapter and it goes here and it runs at this. And I'm just like, oh my God.
That's a pain in the ass, but I guarantee you they do that on purpose.
Yeah, it has to be. All right. So we have our thing done. And you'll notice.
Shelby says, great thing to do when you have a paper due the next day and have to ride the bus to get to Best Buy for the cord.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh.
So
I don't miss having easy access to a vehicle. Or I don't miss not having easy access to a vehicle.
You'll notice that drive is no longer listed. It basically vanished.
Well, Clayton, it's for a Linux machine now.
I know. So
how would a Windows read a Linux machine?
Actually, I'm gonna see if I can do that. I'm gonna take just a minute and see if there's an easy way to do that. Access Linux files Windows. See what we get. Linux partitions to Windows. How to geek. Sure, why not?
I'm those.
You can work with files normally from here. Use drag and drop. April 2019, the Windows subsystem for Linux from File Explorer via the command line. It was possible to do, but Microsoft warns against that. Modifying files here. Could break things.
Oh, that scared me.
Oh,
Thanks, Quentin.
promoted to, wait, did it always say that? Promoted to board manager?
I think it says that every time.
Oh, okay. I was like, I never get a chance to actually read the text. All right, too involved.
Thank you, Quentin.
Not gonna do it. So what I'm gonna do is go grab my Chromebook and do it the way that I did before, and then you'll be able to see me do that. This is a second manager promotion. You're a double manager. All right,
I give myself a raise.
give me a quick second. I'll be right back.
All right, guys, he's gone again. I still have my controller plugged in. You know what we need to do? Just gonna get in there and do some of these, do some of these, do a little of these. All right. I've left him a funny little present when he gets back. He'll never, ever suspect any of the stuff I did. In fact, if he were to predict everything that I've did, wow. If he could predict any of the things I've done, I would be surprised. I've left him a trap here. I've left him a trap there. Oh, he made a huge mistake making sure. Remember what distro it was to call you? Oh yeah. I don't know much about Linux stuff, so I can't comment too much on that. I actually tried to, when I first built my PC, that was right around when Steam was doing their own operating system. And I wanted to do a dedicated portion of my hard drive to run Steam OS. But I didn't realize at the time that if I had done that, that would have basically isolate all my games from my main computer. So
I know.
What happened?
Delby's telling me not to type my keyboard or type my password in with the thing on the desktop.
Oh. Don't do that.
I know how this goes. I've been on the internet for a while.
How long have you been back?
Oh, just a few seconds. Basically, since I said, I know.
Oh. I was talking about how I didn't know much about Linux, but I was wanting to do a dual OS setup on my computer when I first built it.
Oh yeah, dual boot.
I wanted to have the other one be Steam OS because that's when Steam OS was coming out. But also, if I had done that, I would have basically cut off all my games from my main computer. So it ended up being a bad idea.
Okay.
So I didn't do it.
So from here, let me get this window back. And
Hey, there he is.
full screen. Where is it? That one? That one. There we go. So rather than go through the whole capture of plugging this in for the 30 seconds that I'm going to need it, I've got my SD card and my SD reader, or my SD card reader. Plug that in, and then I can open those files here. And not that it matters, but I'm just opening the boot partition of that card, and then I'm going to find the file that says commandline.txt, which is the same one that you saw in this folder. And then the only thing I've done to it is exactly what's on the website, which is, so it's, actually, I should bring that up because it's not what's on the website. It was a little. It's a little misworded, I think, because here where it says instructions, and then you go down for the add-ons and the OSD software, it has this where it says, here's what it says to begin with. Only it doesn't. That's not what it says to begin with. It stops at like right here. It stops at quiet. It does not include
Quiet.
in it equals all this stuff. I don't know.
So what is all that?
I don't know why. That might be something from a different version, and this guide wasn't updated. Either way, it says before it says this, and after it says this. And I was just like, okay, no matter what, I'm just going to copy what it says here and make the file say that. Regardless of what it said before, they say this is what it's supposed to say afterwards. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's what I did, and it worked fine in the first test. So that's the file that I've got there. Let's put that back there. So I'm just going to select this one, and because I don't have a delete key, Alt and backspace will delete that key, or delete that file. And then I have that file downloaded here, and then I'm just going to download, drag that file to the boot drive. There it go. And I'm going to search for cmd command line.txt. Open it. See, that one has. Oh, okay. So it looks like it. Okay, there's no way you can see that. It looks like it has text wrap on this one, but it doesn't. It just.
I think it's because it's in a browser.
Yeah, it just recognizes like, hey, there's no more characters that we can show, so we're going to go to the next line. Not because there's a return in here. We're just going to put them on the next line. So.
Have you ever seen the GIF of that old man at a computer, and then it shows the like screen of the computer, and he clicks my computer, and he drags it over the trash can and drops it in a trash can, and then it shows him in front of the computer, and the computer just pops out of existence,
I have seen that.
and he just kind of sits there and stares.
Okay. So I think that's it. Let me close.
That's what all this reminds me of.
All right. So we've got. Oh, that's right. There's this stuff, the PiBoy install folder. Do I have that here as well? I do have that. Okay, good. So what we'll do, we've changed our command line, boot script. The next is just to drop this folder's contents into that boot drive. So we'll go do that, which is just opening this folder, selecting all, and dragging those into the boot folder. Nothing too involved about that.
Boot.
Then I'm just going to make sure that they're there. Looks like they are. So, go back, make sure I've got all the files. So, there's our image. There's our command line, and there's our OSD stuff. There's some ROMs for later that I've found. So, I think that's it. So we can go back to this. I can properly eject this disk, and I've actually learned that Linux will yell at you, like will literally yell at you if you don't eject files properly.
Linux
Or,
just looks at you and goes, "Hey,
Like,
no,
yeah, because I
no."
just unplugged it one time, and they're like, seriously, don't do that. You can damage your hardware. And then I plugged it in again, and it just wouldn't show me the files. I was like, hey, we weren't kidding. I'm not showing you this. I'm not accessing this drive because it might be corrupted.
Wow, that's crazy.
All right, so I've ejected
It'll
that.
be an angry penguin.
Exactly. Linus Torvalds will punch you in the mouth. All right, so we're done with that.
That sounds like a D&D character.
Linus Torvalds, yeah, he's the guy that made Linux.
He's also a dwarf warrior.
All right, so got our SD card that has been imaged. Pop it into the side facing the correct direction. Very important. Just until it clicks. Now, according to the documentation, if you turn this on the first time, it's going to just kind of go up and down about 3 or 4 times as it like initializes and registers and gets everything in place. So we'll do that now. I'm actually going to switch from that camera because that has micro SD. I'm going to plug that into here. I'm going to see if we can get a feed from there as well. But I don't know what it's going to come out when it looks like, or what it's going to look like when it comes out. So let's do
I know what it'll look like.
Gabbage.
Your mama. My vision has been blinded.
All right, so it's gonna go in there, and I think he said if you hold down the start button while you turn it on, you can force the output to show on the screen as it's booting, or to go to the HDMI as it's booting. So let's see if it does.
Introducing Butt Dial, a new podcast that eavesdrops on calls between your favorite artists.
Doing something. And I actually forgot to mention, it actually has a fan on the back to help it.
I saw the fan. I'm like, that thing's got a fan in it.
Yep. Helps it run a little bit cooler.
I can't see anything, so I'm gonna check out the stream.
Yeah.
But first, I have to watch Travis Scott talk about McDonald's for a sec.
Just a black screen for now. But wondering if it.
Why am I even seeing this ad? I have my you block Origin up. Usually blocks that kind of stuff.
See if I can toggle this.
Toggle. Don't Cactus Black Jack sent you. See, when I hear the name Cactus Jack, it makes me just think of Mick Foley.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Oh, hey, look at that. I see a thing.
Let's.
I like that green light. I like that a lot.
Or save the current clock. What? You waiting for me for something? What you waiting on?
To me, Cactus Jack will always be Mick Foley.
Fit to screen. There it is. I may just power it down and see what happens. I'm wondering if I messed it up by outputting it to the other one.
I don't see how that would happen.
It's always possible. Because these are set to run in a very specific configuration, doing anything differently can sometimes cause different results.
You shouldn't have done that. He's just a pie boy.
I'm gonna toggle this again. Yeah, I have to deactivate it and activate it to get it to load.
Hmm.
Oh, turned off. So I'm going to see if it's going to restart itself. If the switch is already on in the on position, you can just press the A button to like kick it back into gear again. Oh, there's something. Ah.
Oh, look at this.
Uh-huh.
40 degrees. Yes.
So this does actually have Bluetooth built in. So if I wanted to, I could connect this controller and control the games externally. Which
What about headphones?
it does have a headphone jack right there.
I mean, can you do Bluetooth headphones?
Probably. I know.
That's
so
great. Ooh, look
so
at this.
on this one, this doesn't run the custom PiBoy image of RetroPie. This runs just straight RetroPie, which is built on top of Linux. And in regular RetroPie, if you connect a keyboard and press F4, it just exits to the command line, and then you can launch a regular Raspbian, which is the RetroPie or the Raspberry Pi OS. And in there, I know you can connect Bluetooth headphones because that's just an operating system, and it'll allow you to connect anything that's compatible. But because this is a specific version of it, I don't know if I can get to those like features or those menus. So it might just be input devices. Like it might just do controllers. I don't know. Something I haven't tried before. Okay,
It'd be
so
interesting if you could hook up like the Xbox wireless receiver and it just works.
I mean, it has USB ports on the top, so I'd like to think you could. And they actually have a thing on the RetroPie website on connecting different controllers, like DualShocks, because you can put the DualShock into Bluetooth mode. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. I did not.
Yeah, if you hold, I think it's select or the share button and the power button, I think it boots in Bluetooth mode. And it flashes like yellow or something like that. It flashes.
Oh, look at that.
What's that?
It's flashing white, like really brightly.
Oh, you did it to your controller?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you're actually
Now my PS4 turned on.
and now you're in. If you did it right, it would be in Bluetooth mode, and you could connect it to anything that's Bluetooth compatible.
Oh, the Steam Link is Bluetooth compatible.
It is because I've connected a DS4 to a Steam Link, and actually, the later versions of the Xbox One controller, the ones that where this is all one piece, where it's not a separate piece of plastic, any of them that are a solid sheet of plastic there, those have Bluetooth built in. Oh, that's right. So I don't understand why, but the button configurations are wrong to start with. So we'll go into configure input. So you see, like when I pressed A, it goes to the bottom of the screen. But if I press B, that's the go button. So we will down, left, right. Select start. A, B, X, Y. So these are the shoulders in the back. Where are they? Left shoulder, right shoulder, left trigger, right trigger, left thumb click. I don't have a right thumb. You can press and hold anything to skip it.
Did you cut it off?
Not yet. I just. Oh no, I don't want it. Left analog up, left analog down, left, right. And we're going to skip all the right analogs because I'm doing away with my right thumb, as we've already discussed. And I'm going to use the select for the hotkey, which is the default. All right, and now I should be able to, yep, there we go. So let's go to the configuration. I don't like this UI. I've always used Carbon. There we go. I like Carbon a lot better. There we go. A lot easier to read. So we'll
Oh yeah,
go
this is
to
much better.
RetroPie setup. And here's where you can kind of do the back end updates and stuff like that. Manage the packages, the stuff that's installed by default.
Nice package.
I don't have it connected to Wi-Fi. I'm considering plugging in the Ethernet, and maybe actually I do need to plug in the Ethernet if I'm going to transfer those files.
I was about to say, does it have an Ethernet port on it?
Yep, the Pi 4 does. The Pi 0 does not. Yes.
Dang, that's cool.
I think that's why. That's what makes the 0 so small, is that it doesn't have an Ethernet. Alright, so let me just do that. Now let's see. That's just my private IP. I don't care. It's not my public IP.
You have to join our OnlyFans to get that pictures of those P.
Alright, so it's still 63, same as it was last time. Alright, so the cool thing about this is, so here's Bluetooth, but it takes you back to this back. Oh, it's actually, it has to install the Bluetooth like core. It doesn't come activated. Good thing I plugged it into the Ethernet port. But the cool thing about it is, move this to the side, and I go to
Quentin says, is this how you're going to play the next Destiny raid?
oh yeah, absolutely. Funny thing about that, it actually has a Steam link in it. So this will technically run Steam remotely. Is
there enough space on there to install Destiny?
But that's the thing. You're just running it remotely. It's just same way that you want that Steam link to run in the other room if you wanted to over a wired connection. And because like this has a wired Ethernet port, I could technically play Destiny on this tiny screen. Which
I kind of want to see that.
We'll test it. I will say I tested it with, what was I playing?
Maybe not on like a raid night, but like
I think I was playing Death Stranding just to like move the camera around. It's not what I would call great. And also, I don't have a right thumbstick, so I can't do much with...
Or a right thumb.
Or a right thumb. Not for long. Our things... Days are numbered. Alright. So, that is... One ad. Oh, 13 megs. Got it. Oh, that's about done. So, if we go... So this is the actual file systems on that PiBoy. So I can't get to actually the OS stuff, but there's a BIOS folder, configs, splash screens for stuff you want to load up, and then your ROMs folder. And these are all the systems that you can run. So like Amstrad, Arcade, a bunch of different Ataris, Dreamcast,
Goodness gracious.
Famicom Disk System. I don't know what FBA is. Famicom. I don't even know if that's a Famicom thing. But like
I'll Google it.
ZX Spectrum, Sega CD, PS1, like some great options here. Fanboy Advanced.
I'm gonna type in FBA emulator.
Mhm.
Final Burn Alpha.
Final Burn Alpha. I wonder if that's...
Or FB Alpha. I'm gonna just Google that.
Huh.
Final Burn Alpha. I don't know what this is, but it seems to be associated with Street Fighter somehow.
Huh. I wonder if it's...
It's a multi-arcade emulator. It is currently inactive since most developers left the project.
All right then.
Well, that's the emulator itself, not the whatever it's emulating.
Right. Okay. So
This open source available project is based on Final Burn, created by Dave in 2000. Oh, you know, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. Happy Easter, Dave.
Final Burn was one of the first Capcom CPS2 emulators.
CPS2.
I think what it is whatever the emulator Capcom fighting games use in arcade cabinets.
Oh. So it's like a gutted emulator that like is super lightweight and only runs Street Fighter to run it as quickly and efficiently as possible with...
I believe that's what it is. Yes.
I could believe Street Fighter would encourage something that Fanboy Advanced SP. Okay, so I got a couple ROMs here.
Don't forget about the Fanboy Color.
Ooh.
Oh, that's racist. I shouldn't have said that. Hey, delete that from the VOD, okay?
Got it. Will do. Okay, so one of the ones I found is the Wit.NES, which is a demake of the Witness to run on an NES. And
a puzzle game, The Witness?
The Witness, yes. And it is
from the very man who brought us that Kit Classic Braid.
he himself. I haven't played more than like 30 seconds of it just to make sure it loads, but I am very excited to get into it. I also found this thing called Stunt Cycle for the Intellivision, which I don't have installed, so we'll have to do that one as well. I couldn't get that one running earlier in the test, but I suppose we can give it another try. So we go to RetroPie Setup, Manage Packages, Optional Package, and then you
I can't stop thinking of the nice package thing I said earlier. I cracked myself up.
You kind of have to either look up this stuff beforehand or take a good guess. Oh yeah, FB Alpha 12. Look at that. So there's free NTV, which I'm gonna say that's LR is libretro, which is what a lot of this stuff runs on. The libretro free NTV, which is probably an Intellivision thing. So grab that. We are gonna. I tried the precompiled binary, so I'm gonna do it from source this time. Let's see if we get a different result there. And this is when you feel like a hacker because you just see like thousands of code just pour over the screen. It looks so cool. Mhm. So let's see if there's any update to it, just to make sure. There shouldn't be because I downloaded it 45 seconds ago, but no harm in checking.
I can read this. This is the Matrix.
All right, so we'll go back and go back into emulation station. And then we'll grab the wit.nes and drop that into the nest folder. And stunt cycle goes into, if we refresh this, I should have it in television. Yeah. So, there we go. Let's see how we do. We gotta restart. ES. ES.
Yes.
Emulation station is pronounced ES. Very
What
accurate.
was the name of those robot monsters from the Matrix? The ones that existed in the real world that were like flying octopuses?
I want to say like Guardians or Centurions or
I want to say Sentinel.
Sentinels. That's exactly what they are, yeah. I know the Witness works. Also, it's just called the Wit. I want to see if this stunt cycle works.
What does it make?
Nope, it did the same thing as before. So that just doesn't run. I would have to dig more in to see what makes that not work. But there are some things already on here. So there's a Steam link. It straight up runs a Steam link. Here's Flappy Birds. It runs on Libretto.
Really?
Yep.
I could never get over 10.
Well, we're gonna see if I can get over 10. Oh, screen tearing. Where's the VSync on this thing?
Flappy Bird needs some VSync.
Ah, 7.
See, I would just be like, oh, I'm good. I'm not good.
Here, I'm trying to click on the screen. Nothing's happening. Game Boy SP. How do I get out of this? Oh, that's right. So to end it, you press start and select at the same time. That just kills it. We do have Quake on here.
Oh man, yeah, Quake.
So here's where we're gonna see. We've got Doom as well, and Mr. Boom, which is Bomberman.
That rabbit looks like Max from Sam and Max.
Let's see how this runs. I mean, it's pretty quick. Like, there's not a whole lot of like slowdown on it, and the graphics don't look bad for what it is we're trying to make.
Oh man, if you can run Quake on this thing, you can run Half-Life on this thing.
Probably. In fact, I think there might be a Half-Life package. I press start. Okay.
You can figure out what all those ropes are about.
All right, so that's those. Oof. How do I
Oh, I forgot about the axe. Oh man, Quake is such a good game.
Okay, so if you do the thumbstick, that's just strafing. But if you do the D-pad, that actually will turn you.
Yeah, you kind of need to have a second thumb for this game, I think.
Right. So on the later cores, like for later consoles, you're definitely gonna want to connect a different controller with some more modern inputs. But if all you're playing is like Pac-Man or stuff like
Super
that,
Mario Brothers Super Show.
yeah. Or worst case scenario, you bring this and a controller to a hotel and an HDMI cable, plug it into the TV, and you've got whatever game systems you want to bring with you. And because you're sitting on the bed playing with a full featured controller, you're not going to know the difference.
Man, that's cool. And while you're on the plane, you can actually just play Quake.
Yeah, exactly. Or you can play Super Flappy Birds and try to get to 10 for 3 hours.
You'll never get there.
It's not going to happen.
Not on my watch.
Nobody's ever done it, actually.
Oh, you shouldn't have done it. You get a little close. What does he say? I don't remember the words.
You got to be quicker than that. You almost had it.
You almost had. You gotta be quicker than that. Like I feel like I can do the voice okay, but like I can't do the words. I don't know what the words are.
So I don't know if this is
You're
supposed.
doing pretty good. Oh, this is a demo.
Yeah, this is the demo. This is the attract screen. But this is the same way. Oh yeah, I'm too young to die. And we were just talking about this. Hey, Not Too Rough, Hurt Me Plenty, Ultraviolence, and Nightmare.
I like how Nightmare's melty.
Mm-hmm. I'm too young to die. I remember us having this problem when we played classic Doom.
Yeah,
We couldn't figure out what the inputs were, and you were like, I want to use WASD, and it doesn't do it.
Yeah, I had a huge problem with when I played Wolfenstein Classic, Escape from Castle Wolfenstein. Or not Escape. Escape is the later one.
We've
But the problem was I could get it to work, but I couldn't make it not push me forward and pull me backward with the mouse.
That's what it was. When you push or pull the mouse, it literally takes that as your footsteps, and you could not keep from pressing the.
There was no way to turn it off.
Mm-hmm. It is part of the part of the package. Oh, I saw the map before I closed it. So now if we go back to, there's also these Freedom Phase 1 and Phase 2. I have no idea what they are. I didn't even load them to see what they could have been. Network, where available.
Oh, that is just Bomberman.
Yeah. I don't.
Do you think this is like a blatant ripoff, or is this like related in some way? This is just Bomberman.
Oh. I thought they blew up more than one cube at a time.
That person's dead. Oh, how did they not die?
Oh, there's another person down there.
Yeah. There's a lady Bomberman down there.
A bomber lady, if you will.
I will. She's fighting like 3 of these big guys.
Oh!
Did you blow yourself up?
I did. I definitely did.
Hey, you got one little coin. Oh, no, she did.
Is it the same map, just with different palettes?
I mean, that's usually how Bomberman works.
I guess that's true.
The first Bomberman game I ever played was actually Bomberman 64.
I'm similar to that. The first Mega Man I played was Mega Man 64, which was a 3D Mega Man.
I forgot about Mega Man 64, to be honest.
It's kind of like the only one that I think of when people talk about Mega Man, because first one I saw.
I think the first Mega Man I played was Mega Man X2. Pretty fun. She's gonna blow you up. She's gonna blow you up. She's She's getting all the power-ups.
He is getting all the power-ups.
Oh, she's invincible.
Oh my god. He's got like ultra booms. Alright, well.
Oh,
Got
she's
me on
got
that
2
one.
victory coins.
I'll just concede.
I like how your name is. Ah!
Because yeah, that's what happens. They
That's
asked
the
me,
noise you make.
they asked me what my name was as I was dying. Quick, before you die, what's your name? Ah! All right, so this is the wit.nes. This is the witness on
Oh, interesting.
NES.
I guess I assumed it would still be first person.
Yeah. Apparently, there's a Myst ROM for it, where you can play the original
Ooh.
Myst.
See, I never actually played Myst. I went to a friend's house when I was a kid. It was actually not a friend. It was my mom's co-worker who had a son, and I went into his room and watched him play Myst.
Mhm.
And I was like, I kind of want to play this. This looks really cool. But he was playing, and he was one of those kids who was like, you're not going to play, I'm playing.
Right.
But ever since then, I was like, man, this game looks cool, and I want to play it. And I have not played it since.
Shelby's
Well,
granddad played it a lot. Like, it was his freaking game to play. And I kind of like you. I always knew about it, but never. I was always a bit intimidated by it. I was just like, this is a smart game for smart people, and I just want to go fast in cartoon cars.
The thing I remember about it was specifically, Poppy did love it. The thing I remember about it was the main thing I remember, and mind you, this was probably 15 or more years ago that I saw this, but there was just a guy who lived inside of a book, and he was begging you to go find the red book or the blue book, and he wanted you to bring it back to him, but he was like almost sobbing, begging you to get it.
Huh. Okay.
He's like, please get the red key or the red book or the red something.
Right.
But you could only talk to him if you opened up a book. It was very strange.
Okay. True to form. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with this puzzle.
I think you need to go around the... I think you need to like box in the purple ones, but not the green one.
I bet you're right.
Like, that's not going to work. Because the green one you're not supposed to box in.
Okay, so go past the green one.
Yeah, just go straight up past the green one, box in this purple one, and then box in the other one, and then
Like that?
Yeah, I think. Yep.
It looks like it passed the power. Okay.
I beat the first witness.
Oh, so it's flashing to let me know that that one has not been boxed in?
Yeah, you haven't met the criteria of that one.
How do I know what the criteria is?
Well, you did the bottom one right, I think.
Yeah? Can I overlap?
I don't think
No,
so.
it won't let me overlap, of course.
Could in the first one. That's definitely not going to work.
Yeah. Let's try. Let's just go for a dumb answer. Of course not. How about just this?
Well, it didn't let the green ones didn't like it either. Okay, here's what I think. I think the green ones you need to touch one side of,
Mm-hmm.
and the purple ones you need to touch 3 sides of.
Well, that should be that, right?
Yeah. But
Why
that
did
top one didn't like it.
All right, well, that's...
Anyways, this is Wit, or whatever you said it was called.
This one hasn't been activated yet. Are there any other ones I can look at? If you
No.
if you want to play Myst, there's a remastered edition that allows full movement instead of just going from panel to panel, and it's an actual like first person adventure game where you walk around.
Is it on Steam?
I think so. What are you asking for me? I don't get it. Oh. Yep. I see what it means now. So you see
I
the
didn't.
2 squares down there?
Yeah.
I need to box those 2 together. So right there, there's 2 squares have been boxed together. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
That's what passes the test.
Oh, okay.
So just like the original witness. So in this one I need to capture 2 of them together. So that should do it? Yeah.
Interesting.
A lot of the original or the witness was like observational. They're not really difficult puzzles, but you have to pay attention. You have to know what the puzzle is asking you to get the answer. This might be this.
See, the problem with the first witness was you could think you understand it, and then
Mhm.
you would solve a bunch of puzzles with what you think is the way to do it,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden it's just like you miss like one thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, oh, you don't get this at all, actually.
Right.
That pottery studio.
How'd you come up with all these backstories?
I got help from a pro. My financial
I was about to say,
professional
that shouldn't
explained to me
work.
all the ways Nationwide can help protect financial futures.
Oh,
and people.
I'm not
Nationwide can help
able
the
to mute
Koreans get
this
lifetime income? Is there some
this
power
commercial,
in
this
back home?
Nationwide
Set up a financial plan for Mrs.
insurance
Garcia?
commercial.
And he
Nationwide is on my side,
Oh, did it finally let me do it?
and only me. Here's the thing about this. I don't think that the 1 dot has to be the one that's captured. I think just one just has to be captured. So try going up, right, down. Oh, that's not gonna work either. Shit.
Here, let's do this. I think you have something though. We go like that.
Problem is that's 3. That's not 2.
You're right. But hold on, let me look at it. Yeah.
Let's try this. Jump in the lake.
Oh, did it? Oh, it didn't. It didn't do
No.
it.
No. Go right, all the way across.
Uh-huh.
Up. Oh, shit, that's not gonna work either.
I can try this.
Oh, that's not gonna work because that's 3, not 2.
Yeah, it does.
What the fuck? How did that work?
That is a perfect example of what you were talking about. I don't know why it worked, and I'm probably going to need to know why it worked in order to solve
like
this one.
that's bad. Like, you can solve it by accident. And you got to go, well, I need to know what I did. I don't understand why I won that.
Right.
And it gets to be a real problem. I'll tell you what.
Let's do this. If that works. No. Okay. What about up, down, over, down, up, over? No, didn't like that either. Oh, I got it. There it is. See, this one actually makes sense. No, doesn't like it. Well, shoot. No, it doesn't make sense.
Bitch, you thought.
I'm confused and infuriated.
Turn it off.
I also don't know how to save my game. So if I leave, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Can't you press start and say save?
I cannot. I think I might have to go back to the house to save. Either that, or it's a hardcore NES game and there is no save.
In the original Witness, it just auto saved every time you did something. It just saved automatically.
Okay. Perhaps I'm lucky enough for an auto save.
No, it's the children who are wrong.
I also don't know how to get back to the house.
Go on now, back to the house.
Okay. All right. There we go.
Go on, get now.
Genuinely don't know how to actually exit this game.
Well, I think it'll be okay because you only solved like 5 puzzles.
That's true. So let's do this now. I'm going to take this capture off, which is gameplay. Yeah. Let me take that off. And then do Bean Link. All right, so it's going to unpack the Steam Link library. At some point.
I hate that growing up in this country, they don't teach us Celsius. When like 90% of the rest of the world uses Celsius. Like that 52 degrees Celsius means nothing to me. I have no idea how hot or cold that is.
I only know what it means with regards to PCs.
I know 0 degrees Celsius is the freezing point and 100 degrees Celsius is boiling point for water.
I don't know how it relates to me as a human being. I just know like, hey, my CPU shouldn't get above 80. That's when I start getting concerned.
Yeah, like I don't know what is the comfort level for a normal. Oh, Quentin says 25C is 75 degrees.
Jesus. This thing is 50C. That means
So,
it's twice as hot. It's 150 degrees.
No. Oh, you made me fart.
It's not about expecting that. I think somebody said that Celsius is the scale of survivability. Like 0 degrees is not survivable for humans, and 100 degrees is not survivable to humans.
Well, I always heard that it's literally based on the boiling and freezing point of water. Because 100 and 0 is boiling and freezing point of water in Celsius.
Is it?
Yes.
It does revolve.
Unless my science teacher in high school was a fucking liar.
Okay. See, I didn't know that. I knew that 0
I mean,
C is freezing.
you're not wrong. You cannot survive in freezing temperature and you cannot survive in boiling temperature. So you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a dip in this nice boiling vat.
Right.
50C is 122 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oofa.
So whatever that temperature is gauging, it's like very, very hot.
Mm-hmm. That's the CPU temperature. So that's where this fan comes in.
I bet it's running right now, huh?
Why is it downloading so slow?
Got that slow ass internet, is what it is.
I don't have that slow internet.
You got that slow.
I don't.
Slow internet, slow internet. No,
I bought
Stop it!
I bought a whole new house to not have the slow internet.
my internet's not slow. Stop it.
Take it back. You don't mean that.
I bet you only get 25 down. No,
No, it's way bigger than that.
it's way bigger. Stop. Look at this loser with the slow internet.
I'm gonna clean up my desk while waiting this for download.
Just imagining schoolyard children. That's the thing they bully each other over nowadays. When I was a kid, it was whether or not you were wearing Jordan sneakers.
Yeah.
In the year 2020, it's how slow your internet is.
Yeah. I wore British Knights sneakers, BK Knights, which I don't even know if that is a brand, even in like intellectual property or trademark anymore. I don't know if that brand even exists in a book somewhere anymore.
I had I used to get Nikes, and then my mom found out that a lot of Nikes were made in like sweatshops with child labor.
Right.
So we didn't buy Nikes anymore, and then I switched to New Balance. And that was also around the time that Jordan sneakers were getting real big. So these kids were all showing out their Jordans, and I'm walking around in New Balance. I didn't care, so I have a pair of Nike shoes for running, but like that's what I use them for when I actually exercise.
Right.
And I've had them for like 7 years, and they're not worn out, so that shows you how much I actually use them.
Not bad.
I do also use them to walk around conventions. Oh, also Nike stopped using child labor in sweatshops, so that's why I buy Nikes now. But
actually, with virtual learning, that could be a legitimate thing to tease each. You know what? That's true. I had a thought earlier today. I was like, you know, Generation Z was called Zoomers just because, like, it was a play on boomers, but because we are all working from home and learning from home, and the early phase of that was using Zoom, I was like, I wonder,
no, I didn't think of that.
I wonder if in some history book they're going to get it wrong and say, oh yeah, they were called Zoomers because that was the software they used. It was called Zoom. I was like, no, it was just a play on boomers, and they called them Zoomers.
I saw this image where it was showing a screenshot of somebody's Zoom classroom, and they were like, spot the streamer.
Oh.
And everybody had these like low quality images from like a lower angle from their laptop screen.
Yep.
And then here's a guy with LEDs in the background and like a microphone like we have.
Yeah. Like his
like
animated RGB
clear
fans.
Crystal clear image on his screen.
Yep.
Spot the streamer.
Whenever I do my doctor's appointments, I don't go into the doctor's anymore. I do what they call like telemed or whatever it's called. You basically have a video conference with your doctor. And the first time we did it, I was just on my phone. And the second time I was just at home, and the camera comes on and it's looking at the mic that I'm speaking into now. And she goes, "Why do you have such a big microphone?" I was like, "It's for I play games online with my friends." She's like, "It sounds really good. I'll say that." And I was like, "It's freaking better. I paid a lot for it."
You should have looked at her and just said, "You're goddamn right, it does."
Say it again.
The image of Aaron. Do it again.
More.
They're selling a bottle cap opener on the Game Grumps Steam store.
Oh my god.
With that face.
That's so freaking good.
I'm like, I kind of want to buy it. If I wasn't strapped for cash right now, I would 100% buy that bottle opener.
Okay.
It's just Aaron with the stretchy thing in his lips, and like his teeth are the bottle opener grips, and like he's got M&Ms running out of his face.
So here it's asking me a yes or no question, and I don't have a way to respond. So I'm gonna plug in my keyboard.
Video James.
Yes. Enter.
So how'd you do that?
I just plugged in the USB adapter for my wireless keyboard. Took it out of my computer, plugged it in there, and typed yes and go. Oh god, it needs another.
Getcha.
Press enter. Press enter. Okay, so there's a Steam store. There's one other screen.
Now type in your password.
Pair a Steam controller. No. How to navigate this thing without a mouse.
Mouse.
You know what? I'll unplug my mouse as well. I have everything that was controlling my computer.
If you like new country music, listen to Hot Country, a playlist curated by Spotify.
Do not want to listen to Hot Country.
Is that a Switch Pro controller?
What are you talking about?
There's the Steam Link controller,
This?
and then next to it.
No,
No, in the back and behind it. I'm talking about what I'm looking at.
Oh, that's a Steam controller. Here's what
Yeah,
Logan's
the one to
asking
the right
about.
of that.
So here, so that's a Steam controller. That's just an Xbox controller.
Oh, it looks like a Switch Pro controller because the joystick isn't on the right spot.
Actually, that'll be a good test. I'm gonna grab the wireless adapter for my Xbox controller.
I forgot that I actually bought a Steam controller. I have it somewhere. I never even opened it, but they were selling it for like $5. I'm like, I mean, this is normally 60, so I might as well. I've heard some people say that they're just okay, but most people are like, it's bad and hard to use.
Mm-hmm.
But it was $5. I'd be stupid not to, right? Right?
What, the Steam controller?
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's a dumb accessory.
I mean, it was only $5, so it's kind of,
All right, so let me.
it's cool to put on the controller shelf.
Connect that.
If I had one.
Then I can unplug this and that.
You sound very violent. Oh no, you have to switch to your other computer to type in the pin.
Yeah, I know. It's a whole freaking thing. Luckily, you only have to do it once.
What rigmarole? Just scoot some amiibos over. First of all, more than one amiibo. Whoa, that scared me. More than one amiibo is called amiibo. The plural of amiibo is amiibo. So get your facts right, okay? And also no. Now why are you picking on me now? I thought it was pick on Clayton Day.
All right, so
the dismissiveness of that. If you weren't actually my friend and I knew you were joking, I might actually be like hurt. Yeah, I don't care, nerd. What? What did I do?
okay, primary A, B, Y, X, left, right, left up, left down, left button, right thumbstick. I don't know what to do for that.
Yeah, right thumbstick.
Oh, I need my mouse again. Dang it. Sucks. I wish this thing would work. It's not not lighting up. I guess it'll only acknowledge Bluetooth. Keep that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. Left shoulder is there. Left trigger is there. Right shoulder there. Right trigger there. Up, right, down, left. Back, no guide, and start. All right.
You know what I want?
How do I?
I want a beverage, so I'm gonna go acquire one.
Hold on. How do I?
I'll be right back.
All right. I don't want this. Just. Stop remote play. Ugh. Now I can capture. Oh, yes, I do. I do know how I can capture that.
Okay, I'm back.
All right. I go to. Going there. I need to plug
Cracking
that
open a
into
cold
my
one.
capture card. Okay. And then that will replace that. Okay, I got it now.
I don't know what's happening.
Okay, so now my PiBoy is fed into the capture card. Thing is, I don't know. Oh shoot. I don't know if any audio is going to come out of it or not. And if it does, I don't know how loud it's going to be. I'm going to turn it down just to be safe.
Well, it can be anywhere between Brandon's normal speaking voice or Justin Roiland saying anything volumes.
Shouting about sewer tunnels. All right, we're going to try and play Hot Shot Racing. We're going to try.
Oh, this is what you played with Brandon the other day.
Yeah. I don't have any audio coming through. But I wonder if that's just how the console is.
Do.
Maybe there's something I need to enable. Oh, I mean, that's me playing the music myself. That's why you're
This could be music, but you playing.
You'll see I've got all gold trophies on every event.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I mean, I had heard, like, there was a rumor going around that you were kind of an epic gamer, but, and now there's the proof right there in front of me. Who might argue?
That's a Spotify Quinn. So far, this is not bad. There's very little latency on this thing. A lot better than it was the first time. So I don't know if maybe I was just doing. Where's my gas pedal? That's the change view button. That's back. That's right trigger. Right. So I go there.
Are you winning, son?
Right trigger. I keep forgetting what the right trigger button is. And I also need to change my view because I don't like that view. Okay. Okay. A little bit hitchy when it's kind of like what you guys say about Road Redemption when we're playing over Parsec.
Yeah, the thing is though, like, this is not nearly. Oh wait, never mind. It just did.
Did it?
Yeah, for me it just got real choppy.
So you're watching an HDMI capture over parsec that is also being passed through to a stream in a window that's being captured. There's like 8 different handoffs for this feed. So I'm not surprised it might get just.
And what you could do is kill the stream, and then I could stream it, so that way it would be fed from a PiBoy through a stream to your computer over an HDMI cable being captured, being streamed to me, to which I would be streaming back out to Twitch. But since I'm receiving a signal from you at the same time as sending out my own signal, it would be really, really choppy because I'd be dropping frames like a motherfucker.
And if you want to shove this snake's tail back into its mouth, there is
and you know I do.
there is internal function in emulation station for RTMP or for streaming, and all I would have to do is specify the RTMP address, and it would feed the way the rest of our feeds normally do.
Awesome. I like that a lot.
But yeah, this runs perfectly fine. I mean, for driving games, this is absolutely fine, which is the thing that I want to do the most. Which is why
I'd like to see you do like a precision platforming game right now, though.
Oh yeah. Like if I wanted to do a PS1 racing game, that's the reason I want to get that BIOS working. Is so that I can play the original Gran Turismo and 1 and 2.
Remember how much trouble I was having when we were doing Extra Life the first year we did it, and we were trying to play Luigi's Mansion, and I kept lagging really bad. I kept getting all mad because I couldn't fucking do what I wanted to do.
And then I forget what happened. Did your power go out or something?
Power went out.
That's right. It's just, a lot of our stories begin and end with Logan's power went out.
It goes out so often. I'm so frustrated with it.
I mean,
what am I going to do? I can't switch power companies.
I'm not going to tell you that Houston is a lot more reliable.
I'll bet you it is more reliable than what I currently have.
Technically, yes.
I will bet you.
All right, so we'll get out of this. Since that test went really well. How do I exit it? Yes. That should kick. Okay, good. That just kicked me back here. Let's see how.
Fall Guys.
Yeah, let's see how we do in freaking Fall Guys.
Oh yeah, dude. Are we about to load up a match? I haven't even seen what.
I'm gonna play
like,
Fall Guys on a Game Boy.
I haven't seen what season two looks like yet. So,
dude, could you? Oh my! I just had an idea. Could you imagine if you streamed Fall Guys from your PC at your house to you on a plane, and you're playing it on something like this, and because this is connected to the Wi-Fi on the plane, like, how great would that be?
Too bad. The latency would be so terrible.
You're right, it would.
Especially for me.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave the mouse plugged in there just in case.
Gotta find out where your grabby buttons are.
What are they on the controller?
It's one of the triggers.
Triggers would be these 2 buttons right here. Z and C.
Hit parade.
The real problem is that I don't have camera control. So this is going to be real bad.
I believe they added Big Yeetus to this map too. Oh, but I don't see it. Oh, that middle part is different. From what I saw last anyway.
I don't know how this is going to go without camera controls.
Guy on the right didn't even move.
Oh, this is.
Clayton, I don't think you're gonna qualify.
Oh God.
Yeah, this middle part's different.
Oh wait, how do you get? Oh.
Whoa. Oh yeah, this is gonna be impossible without the. You did it! Oh my God!
Oh.
I can't believe you made that.
Is this what's called slime climb, or is this something else?
No, slime climb is a different level. You're gonna qualify! Holy shit!
Just
How did
freaking barely. I was 38.
How did you do that? You were so far behind.
Ugh. Stressful.
Yeah, I guess. Boy, is my face red.
All these eggs, all over my face. Oh, ye of egg of face.
It's me.
If it's the thing where you drop through the hexagons, I
That won't be until finale. You have to get to the finale for
okay.
that.
Because I was gonna say like I need camera
Hey,
control
I'm
for that,
Cora,
and I
host
don't
the
have it.
podcast Every Little Thing. Listeners call us with questions, and we find them answers.
Oh, rollout's fun.
Okay.
Unless they've changed it.
I might be able to survive this.
Unless they've changed rollout any, then this is fine.
Anything where you have to change direction and run back where you came from, I might have a problem.
I like the toucan outfit.
What's my jump? There it is. Very quiet. It's all of a sudden very quiet.
You could win top
Would the song change?
Yeah.
and experience what extremely extreme sounds
You done goofed.
I did.
The consequences will never be the same.
Detailed game odds and information, visit txlottery.org or call 800-375-6886.
I mean, Fall Guys is playable.
Yeah, I mean, it runs. That's the thing.
Hey,
Which means if I connected
click
this
or tap
other
there to
controller,
listen to
I would
Have
have
a Great
all of the
Day.
controls that I would
Feel
need
great
to.
with
Wait, this is still season 1.
Brought to you by our friends.
Unless you've played since season 2 came out.
All in on CVS.
I have not. I don't think so. I don't really know.
Yeah, because you're level 5 right now.
Twitter's blowing up.
Oh, it is still season 1.
My
Trigger
other,
over to the season pass. Or bumper over to the season pass.
bumper over to here? Is that what that
No,
is?
one more back.
This one?
Oh, okay, season 1 ends in 4 days.
Oh, okay. Exit. There we go. I love a UI driven exit button specifically.
Me too.
Uh,
And I hate it when they hide it. Farming Simulator 2019.
so this is actually really cool, specifically for this. These
You can play an emulation on your emulator.
well, the cool thing is, when you buy this, it installs a library of ROMs onto your hard drive. So when you buy it through Steam, you get a ROM folder installed on your hard drive. So all you would have to do is grab that folder, drop it into the Genesis ROM folder on this thing, and there you go. You have all of those games.
So you can just dump those ROMs into your PiBoy.
Right. So if I install this and agree, of course. I wish I could see what speed it was downloading at. I can't see what speed it's downloading at. I thought I could. And then once that's done, or that should download. Yeah, that'll download on its own. I'm gonna. Minimize it. Okay, there we go. Oh, is that still? Oh yeah, of course, that's still going through. Got it. Wait, how is that? I'm so confused where this capture is coming from.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Wait a second. Hold on. That's my capture card. I'm so very confused. Hmm. Is PiBoys taking over. Just confused where this capture is coming from. That's my capture card, but this is plugged into my capture card. So where is that reading from? Oh. Oh my god.
You gonna fill me
This
in on
is
what's happening?
this is running. Oh god. I am remoting I am remoting into my own computer that is 2 feet away over. So that PC is broadcasting to this PiBoy over Ethernet, which is then going into this HDMI to a capture card that's going back into my broadcast machine. That's why that's when I minimize Steam Big Picture, I still have a picture. I was like, how is that getting captured? It shouldn't be getting captured. I've got it unplugged. Where's it coming from?
No, mama.
All right, so let me take that off. I'm going to go to the folder for exit big picture. Yeah. Is that still getting captured? Yeah, it's still getting captured. That's crazy. I need to go to the Genesis stuff and then browse local files. There we go. So if I put that back up, so this is the Sega Mega Drive collection thing.
Yes.
So if I do this, and then my ROMs folder, and these are for the Sega Mega Drive, I think. Would these be Mega Drive or Genesis? Uh, these are Mega Drive and Genesis Classics. Guess I'll drop it into Genesis. So we got these uncompressed ROMs, and there's Golden Axe. So
For Golden Axe is fun. I've never actually played it.
we'll drop that there, and just for good measure, I'm going to drop it into Mega Drive as well. Oh.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Genesis and Mega Drive are the same.
They are. I just don't know why they have two folders on here. Unless one is for like PAL and one's for NTSC, maybe.
Oh, maybe.
But when I dropped it into one, it definitely replicated it to the other. Genesis. I only moved that file once, and it was definitely there. So let's go back to the picture, and then I can go up to here. Stop remote play. All right, that goes back to there. Now I'm back into emulation station.
So what if you were to get your hands on other ROMs that could run on a Genesis emulator, and you put those in the Genesis collection folder?
They would
Would
run.
it run them?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh, I need to restart it. Restart, yes.
Yes.
What is it? Let's do this. Let's be safe. Oh, right. Keep forgetting I have to press A to turn it back on. I have 2 mice, 2 controllers, and 2 Game Boys on my desk right now.
You're living the life.
Mm-hmm.
My desk is a cluttered mess.
Oh, so is mine. Before.
Don't get it twisted.
Oh, Quentin asked, was that a legitimate cracking or an emulated cracking?
What does that mean?
I'm not sure what he's asking about. Okay. Also, I don't see my files here.
I can't see anything.
Yeah. Let's see here. That was long ago when loading. Oh, got it. He was asking about your.
Oh, that was a
Kraken.
real one. That was a real one. A genuine cold one Kraken.
Okay. So. Go
Here's the
to-
can.
All right, Bender. Browse local files. Sega Game Room. Or uncompressed ROMs. Golden Axe W. What would W refer to?
WinRAR.
ROMs. Genesis. There it is.
How about that dub you almost took back in took in Fall Guys just now?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it stands for.
Golden Axe W 68K. There's something I need to do to it? So I'm gonna consult the website. Alright, systems in RetroPie. And this is Sega.
Sega!
Alright. I go to the M's. Master System runs SMS files. Genesis runs SMD, bins, MDs, and ISOs.
So that emulation format's probably not compatible then.
Yeah, it probably means it's packaged in something that I need to unpack. So I'm gonna go to Genesis. Oh, Genesis Mega Drive. Oh, I was looking at Master System, not Mega Drive. Mega Drive. Okay. Oh, I may have to install the core. No, the folder's there, so it should be there. Startup ROM. Place your BIOS. Wait, Does the Genesis have a BIOS? I did not know that. I didn't know that at all. Anyways. So, as you can see, some things run easily, some things do not. I'm going to run some, wait, on our way out here, just because I think it looks cool. Win. W stands for win, yeah. But yeah, some stuff runs super easy. Some stuff takes a little bit of fiddling. Some stuff just doesn't run at all. And maybe if I knew more about it, I would know why. But I'm super happy with this thing. And I'm going to mess around with it a little bit more and see if I can get a legal PS1 BIOS. And then I can start really playing the games that I really want to, which is like emulated PS1 games. I'm super excited about that. But yeah, I'll let you mess with it next time we get to hang out, Logan. You can tell me what you think of it.
I will. You better dump some Game Boy ROMs on there.
Oh, I will. Actually, with my case of Game Boy games, I would actually love to figure out how to dump like perfect copies of them, because I bet there are some saved games on there from decades ago, which would be really cool to play.
You probably need to get something like that Nintendo 64 thing I was talking to you about. Like a specific, because carts you need to have specific kind of like pin receivers.
Yeah.
And it is not easy to dump ROMs from a cartridge.
Oh no. I've seen very long forum posts about what people have had to go through to dump some very obscure games that they are clearly very passionate about. But that's going to do it for this evening. So, thank you very much to anyone and everyone for watching. Whether you are studying, working, sleeping, or lurking, we appreciate you having us on in the background. Special thanks to those in the chat for keeping us company. We appreciate your time. To any new viewers, welcome. And if you'd like to receive the followers free, just link your monthly complimentary Prime Gaming subscription. And speaking of subscriptions, we got us 2 YouTube channels you can subscribe to. One that used to be for our edited gameplay videos that went up every Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern. The other one that used to be for the re-upload of our nightly broadcast 24 hours after it ends. We also have a Snapchat and an Instagram for more behind-the-scenes content, as well as a Discord where you can meet up and hang out with the other board members of our community, and a Facebook in case you want to tell your grandma about us. I know it's a lot to keep track of, so I'll make it easy for you. Follow us on Twitter. You can get our daily and weekly updates. And hit the website, carpetboredom.com, for our platform channel links. While you're there, check out the store and pick up the softest shirt we've ever sold. Tomorrow night, do you know what we're playing?
We are doing Among Us with the community.
That's right. Tomorrow night is Among Us. That's gonna be fun. I'm trying to. I got super far behind on my podcasts. And I'm getting to the point like a couple weeks ago when Among Us was like starting to get people's attention. And it, like, I'm hearing the conversations ramp up about Among Us in my podcasts now.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So, that's gonna be a good time. Thank you very much, Logan, for hanging out with me while I build this thing.
You said Game Boy, and I was like,
yes, I'm there already. Mentally, I am here. Logan acting sus.
Listen. I saw the killer, so I hid in the vent, and he didn't see me go in there. So,
to be fair, I'm always acting sus. You know what? He's got a point. Solid point.
And you can guarantee I will be acting extremely sus tomorrow on purpose every time.
Never not sus. Is all I have to say.
All sus, no breaks.
Who's on right now?
Oh, I didn't even look at that. I should have been looking that up.
I'm gonna raid another gadgeteer. Someone that I know loves to fiddle with devices and whatnots, Mr. Will Smith over at not that Will Smith. We're gonna raid. Oh, I ain't got no keyboard connected. Flash. Raid. Not that Will Smith. There it is. All right. While we let that cook down, yeah, I'm super excited about this. Like, I really want to get a few Genesis games running on it, and kind of sit in bed and play some of the old. Because I was more of a Genesis kid than I was a Nintendo kid, so I have a lot more memories with Genesis titles than I do with Mario and such.
Murphyo.
Rufio. But yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. So I think that's good. Wait, where's the?
I think that's it.
Why can't? Okay, there's the button. Got it. All right. Well, thanks again, and we will see you back here tomorrow night at 9:30 Eastern as we play some more video games. Have
Good
a
night.
Bye.